Imagine this. You're 5 years old and go down into your basement to play the PS1. You pop in the best game, Croc, The Legend of the Gobos, but forget you left the TV on at a high volume and are met with I wasn't sure if aliens were finally coming to abduct me or if I was being sucked into a portal, but all I know is the way I ran up my basement steps is the fastest I ever have in my entire life to this day. Congratulations, you just experienced one of my most traumatic memories. Hearing the PS1 startup music today, I'm met with a mix of nostalgia and goosebumps. This got me thinking if 5-year-old me was scared of the loud noise, or if it was the startup music itself that scared me. And honestly, the reason I get goosebumps hearing it today is because it sounds a bit unnerving. I think it was masterfully designed to sound otherworldly, like you're about to enter an unknown dimension. Doing some initial research, I have seen other people share a similar sentiment of feeling uneasy during the PS1 startup, so today, I want to explore the origins of the jingle and why it was designed the way it was. In a 2019 PlayStation blog post, the composer of the PS1 jingle, Takafumi Fujisawa, spoke with Jeff Cork, the senior editor at Game Informer, about the creation of the sound. And it's here in this interview we learned some cool tidbits about the jingle on the tech side of things. In Fujisawa's words, the concept was set to maintain the core image of PlayStation no matter what type of TV speaker it is played on, as there could be countless kinds of TV around the world. The only limitation I experienced was the size of the ROM, so I kept the size as minimal as possible. Something else I thought was interesting to bring up was that there's actually an alternate version of the jingle where Fujisawa whispers PlayStation, but ended up scrapping it because it could have led to the impression that the console speaks to you. As for why he composed the jingle the way he did, Fujisawa had this to say: I expressed the excitement to the game that begins after the sound by starting the music quietly in order to not scare the user when they turn the power on, and follow it with the sound quality that sounds original and welcoming. Whoa shit, Fujisawa, if your intention was not to scare me, you sure did a poor job. He goes on to say, the function of this sound is to tell the user that the hardware is running like it is supposed to, and that the disc has successfully been read. To add, the switching reverse sound is designed so that it can go into loop if the disc couldn't be read, and we can understand if something went wrong. It's fascinating to me how much thought and effort went into the jingle, being how it serves a variety of purposes. Number 1, it's the first impression the player has of the console. Number 2, it's supposed to get the player into an excited mood for the game they're about to play. And finally, it was carefully designed to indicate if everything was alright, or if there was an error. I kept thinking from the start that I wanted the sound image to be something exciting, like that feeling when you walk into a cinema. I really wanted to communicate and reinforce that something fun is going to happen. Looking back at the PS1 startup after hearing what Fujisawa had to say, I can totally see where he's coming from. It's like the opening credits of a movie and the sound design is there to reinforce that excitement. So that's it, right? Problem solved? Mystery solved? I'm not letting PlayStation and Fujisawa off that easily. I still have some problems I want to clear up. We need to look at some of the startup errors your PS1 can get because those were intentionally designed to be scary, and you cannot tell me otherwise. So this first error is called fearful harmony, and it can occur a few different ways, such as when inserting a damaged disc, or a non-PS1 disc, or even a modded disc. Upon startup, the PS1 plays the music Fearful Harmony, and you're met with the following. What were they thinking? It sounds like you're hiding somewhere and a serial killer has just entered the room you're in. But that's not all. There's another startup sound titled Personified Fear, which can occur when the PS1's BIOS is corrupted. Here's what that looks like. Personified Fear definitely sounds like the inside of the PlayStation exploded or something in there is crashing. I definitely find it a bit more creepy than Fearful Harmony over here. This next error is called Forbidden Image, and it occurs when you enter either a foreign or modded disc. Take a look. So Forbidden Image doesn't load the PlayStation logo, but instead a corrupted version of the Sony logo, and you can see the graphics in general just don't look right. It kinda gives off the impression that the PlayStation has been possessed or something. I also found there's another version of the Forbidden Image error that looks like this, and it occurs if you put the disc in while you're already experiencing the Fearful Harmony error. The YouTube channel BK4 has a great video on all of these errors, how to trigger them, and how rare they are, so I'm going to link them down below if you want to learn more information on them. So now we know everything there is to know about the PlayStation 1 startup jingle. Looking back as an adult, yeah, it's obviously not as scary as I thought. Instead, it has the right instruments and composition to leave a long-lasting impression, which I can appreciate it for. Those startup errors though, on the other hand, pure nightmare fuel. If I had come across those as a kid, I probably would have begged my mom to bring my PlayStation to church to have it blessed. I'm not sure why they made those errors so creepy, but I guess that's just how it is. Anyways, that's all for me. Have a good one.